All right, if you're just joining us, this is Good Morning Abuja on NT Channel 5, the Unity Station. Yes, that was our morning saving tips. I hope you started saving since January so that now that the year is coming to an end, you have something to get out from your piggy box. Okay, we have a guest right now in the studio, and he will be talking to us about groundnut oil value chain. Yeah, he is a global director, African House, and the person of engineer Abayomi from Nasoya. You're welcome. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you. You know when you say groundnut,
oil.
groundnut oil, and
It's like it's seasonal.
so now let's begin to look at the stages, the stages of groundnut oil value chain.
Well, thank you for having me. Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, Abuja. Granite as a crop has been around for thousands of years. And in Nigeria, like you said, it's seasonal. And that, but the issue with our granite value chain, as it were, is that we do not appreciate what we can generate as a nation from granite. And there's a lot of misconceptions also around granite and granite oil.
Okay.
And this is where that's why I'm here today to clarify these misconceptions and also to open the eyes of Nigerians to see how much money we can actually make from granite in terms of export and even in the local market. Having said that, see, when you go to the shelves of supermarkets around Abuja, even Nigeria, you discover that you find different types of oils. You see vegetable oil, you see what and what and what and what. And it's also sad that we do import even oil, cooking oil, and the price fluctuates so bad that in January the price might be 1 naira, and then in December it could be another price. So, but granite can give us that stability in terms of keeping the price stable and also generating a lot of money for Nigerians. Let's put it into perspective. Nigeria is the third largest producer of granite. After China is number one, India is number two, and we are number three. China, the biggest producer, produces 1.8 million tons per year, and we only produce 60,000 tons. And you discover that the way we see granite, we often see it as like a snack, when you see during the granite season, you buy it and then you just snack it along, which there's nothing bad about that. Even me, I love my granite and gari. I love it. It's like
As a typical Yoruba man.
Thank you. It's my cereal. But the truth is, we do not see that we can actually make billions and billions of dollars from granite oil. You see, and another issue we're having is that we consume a lot of our granite as snacks. Instead, we should try to pivot into processing the granite into granite oil and granite cake.
Okay, now this is my question. We all know that in Africa House you do a lot of things, and so, we are talking about granite oil now, and you are giving it to us practically. Now let's come back to this groundnut. We have different species of groundnuts.
That's correct.
So we really want to know the one that brings out the oil more. There's one that looks very fast, tiny. They say one is sweeter than another. We want you to just break it down and the one that brings out the oil more.
Yes. I'm happy you know this. See, granite has different types.
Yes.
Okay? The one you get the most oil from is the fat one with the less skin. It's like a zebra. It has the zebra color.
And that's the one I love eating more.
Exactly. So it has a higher oil content than the other ones.
And the smaller ones.
The smaller ones, you see. So if anyone wanting to go into this business, that's the particular breed you should buy. The fat ones with the that looks like zebra, has all this white thing on it. It has very less peels, by the way. So that is what you should do as a business person. And then the other one can be used for making different things like peanut butter. And of course, in Nigeria also, we've not even looked at the processing part of the granite itself. Because granite has a lot to offer us as a nation. You see, we can increase our cultivation so that we can start producing peanut butter. Peanut butter is something most advanced nations use in their breakfast or their kids and whatnot. We can also do what's it called with peanut now. We can do all this peanut flour. Something called peanut flour. That you can mix with cakes and with several other things. And then of course the oil you can. And by the way, do you know that we can use granite oil as diesel?
Okay. We
Exactly,
can use
as
groundnut oil
fuel.
as
Honestly.
fuel.
As fuel, for
Okay.
diesel generators and even cars, by the
Mm.
way. So it will go through certain processes, even for making biodiesel.
Mm.
And the good thing also is when after frying with it, the remnant or the waste oil can be filtered and you can, add some chemicals to it and you put it in your generator at home.
Okay.
So to save us
Okay,
fuel
so let's
costs.
look at from all you are saying, there must be challenges. So let's look at the challenges in groundnut oil production.
Challenges number one is the farmers don't understand the scientific methods of growing, processing, and storage.
Okay.
Groundnut oil has this particular issue called this particular thing called aflatoxins.
Okay.
Aflatoxins are microorganisms that can damage the liver.
Hmm.
And if groundnut is not properly cultivated, it's not properly, especially the storage part, it starts to mold, this white thing. And
Okay.
those things become aflatoxins, which can kill humans on the long
Hmm.
run. So, and thankfully, institutions like IIT and other research institutes, they've been spending millions of dollars to educate and to research how farmers can process or can store and in their processing as well. So this has to be looked into carefully. So farmers need to know that certain temperatures is what you should store your granite with, or they need to know how the practices, so to say, on
Hmm.
how to handle the granite so it becomes very safe for humans. In fact, that's why most people stay away from granite because they don't know how it was processed and it was
Honestly,
stored.
yeah.
So that's number one. Number two is we are not cultivating enough.
Okay.
We need to increase our productivity in terms of granite. And the funny enough, it can grow in your backyard. It can grow in my
Hmm.
backyard.
Yeah.
You don't need to have thousands of hectares to cultivate granite. So we
Hmm.
need to, it creates an awareness to say, people, guys, let's start cultivating granite, and not necessarily for granite oil for cooking, also for different chemical processes. Like we
Hmm.
can do peanut butter, which is amazing. It replaces your butter or other spread that you put in your bread, and we can export it. This is the good thing. That's money
You
right
know,
there.
you talked about creating awareness, and that is what we are doing
Doing.
now. You talked about processing a
Yes,
lot, especially the soy oil you talked about.
soybean oil.
Yeah, soybean oil you talked about a lot of process. Now, this is bringing me to quality control. How can quality control and assurance processes work in this granite oil value chain?
Well, the quality control will start from the markets where the granules are being traded.
Okay.
When they bring it to market in Lambata, the market associations will ensure that they teach all their members the best practices. Don't keep your ground in humid or moist areas where rats and other animals can infest them.
Hmm.
That's number one. Once that is done, also in the factories, the production facility, if you go to Kano, certain places where granite is being processed on a huge scale, you see that the cakes, even the oil, when the oil is being extracted from the machine, they just throw it on the
Splash
floor
everywhere.
and whatnot. So this is not hygienic. So this is where NAFDAC comes into play. NAFDAC needs to actually regulate the processing of some of these primary production facilities, because they say, I just produce and then I sell it in jerry cans. I don't need NAFDAC. That's what they tell you. But it's not true. The safety, the quality control starts from them. Because
Okay.
if you're producing a whole that's infected with aflatoxins, what can the processors do? You see, because getting rid of aflatoxins is almost impossible. You see, so and it stays in the oil, and the unknowing consumer will consume and will become sick. So this is where the quality assurance must be done. And also for the people bleaching and deodorizing it, they also need to know that there are certain limits of chemicals you can put.
Yes.
Not
Yes.
because I want to make quick money, let me just bleach it, make it smell nice, and then I sell. No. So these are the critical points where our authorities need to come in to please regulate this so that we know whatever we are consuming is safe, and also we can export to the rest of the world. Sudan is doing that, China is doing that, India is doing that. Why are we not doing it? This is the thing.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, I know you have said a lot and a lot of ways that we can actually improve in this industry. Now, still your final word, especially to the government,
Government, yes.
especially to the government, so that we can tap into this granite
Industry.
oil and then be able to export. Okay, you've just told us that it's healthier to even eat. I
Own
was even
granite
surprised
oil.
with
Yeah.
soya. I've always believed that soya is more healthier than every other one, but look at what you just said. So, talk to
All
the
right, 2
government.
points before I give my final two points. This is place. When we buy, this goes to all these people selling fried fish or whatever on the road of the side of the road. See, oil has limits to what you can do with it. Once you finish frying your oil at certain levels, please discard the oil. don't reuse it. If you reuse oil, it becomes poison. It becomes oxidized. You see, that means the nutrients and all the good things are gone. So, because I often see them on the road, they will just add extra oil, add extra
Yes.
No,
oil.
are you
You
sure
should
Nigerians will be able to do this? What you're saying, going with what is happening now, but
Yes, but
the needful must be
we
done for
cannot
us to
kill
be
people.
healthy.
We cannot kill people
Yes.
because the truth is, once you fry for 2, 3 times, you discard it. It becomes waste. That can be used for diesel as diesel fuel. That's number one. And number two is that, of course, the final word to the government. Please let us put health officers in place who will monitor every part of this value chain, from the farmers to the processors and to the guy frying it on the road. They should send inspectors, do spot checks. Okay, fine, let's take samples of your oil and test. Is it safe or not? If it's not safe, discard it, find the guy so next time we won't do that again. And also, please, there's money in groundnut oil. Let's increase our cultivation. Let us start exporting like other nations of the world, and let us do a lot of processing into finished products like peanut butter, and several other things that we can use in confectioneries and other industries. We can make a lot of money as a nation. We can make billions of dollars only from groundnut oil, not consume all the groundnuts we have in Gary and Kuli Kuli. We can do
With the
like
Jebu
better.
Gari.
With the Jebu
Yes.
Gari, and I'm guilty as charged.
I'm also guilty.
Okay, yeah, I'm not guilty. Thank you so much, Engineer
Thank you
Bayomi, for
Thank you.
opening our eyes to see what we need to do in this industry. We do really appreciate your time.